Have you ever finished a workout feeling worse than when you started? Maybe your knees ache a little more, or your back doesn't feel quite right. You're doing your best to stay healthy and active, but something just feels off. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for your body as you age, but only when done safely and correctly. As we get older, our bodies change. Muscles take longer to recover. Joints aren't as forgiving as they used to be, and our balance, let's just say it sometimes needs a little help. But that doesn't mean you should stop moving. In fact, the right kind of exercise can help you feel younger, stronger, and more confident every single day. The key is to avoid a few common mistakes that can sneak into your routine without you even realizing it. Today, we're going to talk about 4 of the most common exercise mistakes people over 60 often make, and more importantly, how to avoid them in a way that keeps you safe, mobile, and feeling your best. Let's begin with something that might surprise you. One of the most overlooked steps in any workout is the warm-up. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm just going for a walk, do I really need a warm-up? And the answer is yes, especially if you're over 60. A warm-up isn't just about breaking a little sweat, it's about preparing your muscles and joints for movement. It signals to your body, hey, we're about to get moving, let's get ready. Too many seniors skip the warm-up, either out of habit or because they think it's not necessary. But jumping straight into activity without loosening up can be like revving a cold engine. Things can go wrong quickly. The body needs time to adjust. Even just 5 minutes of gentle motion, like shoulder rolls, arm swings, ankle circles, or a slow-paced march in place, can make a huge difference. Not only does it help prevent injury, but it also helps you move more smoothly and feel more balanced during your actual workout. And here's something to keep in mind. Warming up isn't about pushing yourself, it's about easing in. Think of it as saying good morning to your body. You wouldn't leap out of bed and start sprinting across the room, and your body wouldn't appreciate it either. Now, let's talk about the second mistake, one that's a little sneaky and very common: ignoring your balance. We spend so much time focusing on cardio and strength, which are both incredibly important. But we often forget that balance is the glue that holds it all together. And here's the thing, balance doesn't stay with us unless we train it. It's a use it or lose it kind of skill. When was the last time you practiced standing on one leg for 30 seconds? Or walking heel to toe across the living room? Simple exercises like those can strengthen the small stabilizing muscles in your ankles, knees, and hips. The ones that keep you upright when you trip on the edge of a rug or step off a curb that's a little lower than expected. Without these muscles doing their job, your risk of falling goes way up. And falls, especially as we get older, aren't just bumps and bruises. They can lead to serious injuries that take months to recover from, if not longer. The good news? You can train your balance safely without equipment right in your living room. Hold onto a sturdy chair or countertop and practice rising onto your toes and back down slowly. Walk slowly in a straight line, placing one foot directly in front of the other. Do these movements regularly, and you'll notice a difference in how steady and confident you feel in your body. But maybe you've tried these exercises and thought, this is too easy, or I need something more intense. And that brings us to another mistake: pushing too hard, too fast. As much as I admire the determination, and believe me, staying active is fantastic, many seniors fall into the trap of thinking exercise only counts if it's exhausting. That's just not true. Our bodies need time to adapt. Especially if you've had a break from regular exercise, it's important to build up gradually. If you go full steam ahead, whether that's lifting heavy weights, taking on high-intensity classes, or walking long distances before your body is ready, it's easy to overstrain your muscles, aggravate your joints, or even cause a setback that puts you on the sidelines for weeks. I once spoke to a gentleman named Robert who decided to hit the gym again after years of being inactive. He meant well, started strong with weights, didn't warm up, ignored his tight hamstrings. And within a week, he was dealing with lower back pain that lasted a month. His mistake wasn't that he exercised, it was that he tried to do too much, too soon. If Robert had started with bodyweight exercises, focused on his posture, and given his muscles time to catch up, he'd have built a much stronger foundation for progress. The lesson here is, movement should feel good. Challenging, yes, but not painful and not punishing. You want to finish your workout feeling proud, not broken. Now that we've talked about warming up properly and making balance a priority, it's easy to see how small adjustments can have a big impact. These aren't complicated changes. They're not about spending more money, buying fancy equipment, or dedicating hours a day to exercise. It's about understanding your body and giving it what it needs, not what it needed 20 years ago, but what it needs today. That brings us to another area where many older adults stumble. And it's a simple one: not listening to your body. You see, our bodies have a way of talking to us. Not with words, of course, but with subtle signals. A tight muscle here, a little stiffness there, maybe a nagging twinge in your knee that you keep brushing off. Sometimes we're so focused on finishing a workout or keeping up with a group that we ignore those signals until they become shouts. And by then, we've already pushed too far. It's easy to think, no pain, no gain, right? That old motto gets stuck in our heads. But let me tell you, that phrase was never meant for people over 60. In this stage of life, it's more like no strain, more gain. Because when you pay attention, when you respect your body's limits and learn to work with it, not against it, that's when the real progress happens. Let's say you're doing a set of squats and you feel a sharp pain in your knee. Not the good kind of muscle burn, but the kind that makes you wince. That's your body saying, something's not right here. Maybe it's your form. Maybe your knees aren't quite lined up properly. Maybe you're squatting too deep for your current range of motion. Instead of powering through, stop, breathe, try a smaller movement, or switch to something gentler like seated leg extensions or a modified wall sit. You're not quitting, you're adjusting. That's wisdom, not weakness. And sometimes rest is exactly what your body needs. Not laziness, not giving up, just recovery. Especially if you've been more active lately, don't feel guilty about taking a day off. Muscles rebuild and grow stronger during rest, not while you're exercising. Think of rest days as your reward, your body's way of saying, thanks for taking care of me. Now, here's something else that often goes unnoticed, and it's one of the most common mistakes seniors make when exercising, neglecting posture and alignment. This one is tricky because it can sneak up on you. You might feel strong, your endurance might be great, but if your posture's off, you're placing stress on the wrong joints, and over time, that can lead to pain or injury. Posture isn't just about standing up straight, it's about how your body moves through every motion. Are your shoulders hunched forward during your walk? Is your head tilted down toward your phone while stretching? Are your knees caving inward when you stand up from a chair? These tiny misalignments add up. Over weeks and months, they can create wear and tear on your spine, hips, and knees. But the fix is simple: awareness. Take a few moments before every exercise to check in with your body. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head gently upward, lengthening your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Engage your core, even just a little, to support your lower back. You don't need to be perfect, just mindful. And if you're not sure whether your form is right, don't be afraid to ask for help. Many community centers and gyms have trainers who specialize in working with older adults. They're not there to push you past your limit. They're there to help you move safely and confidently. And if a group setting feels too intimidating, you can always find gentle video workouts online that focus on form and posture. You're never too old to learn something new, especially when it comes to your health. Speaking of learning, let me share a quick story. I once met a woman named Joyce who had been walking daily for years. Rain or shine, she'd hit the sidewalks in her neighborhood, logging her steps and feeling good about it. But lately, her hips had started to bother her. Nothing too serious, just a dull ache at the end of each walk. She thought it was just part of getting older. Turns out her walking posture had gradually shifted. She was leaning slightly forward, her shoulders tight, and her feet turning outward more than they used to. With a few small corrections, engaging her core, relaxing her shoulders, adjusting her stride, that dull ache started to fade. Not because she walked less, but because she walked better. Sometimes it's not about doing more, but doing smarter. And while we're talking about smart habits, don't forget hydration. You might not think of water as part of your exercise routine, but staying hydrated is essential, especially as we age. Our sense of thirst gets a little quieter with time, but our need for water doesn't. Dehydration can cause fatigue, dizziness, even confusion, all things that can increase your risk of falling or getting hurt while moving. Before you exercise, have a glass of water. Keep a bottle nearby if you're doing a longer routine. And after? Sip slowly, even if you don't feel thirsty. It's a small habit, but it makes a big difference. When it comes down to it, staying active as we age isn't about competition or performance. It's about quality of life. It's about being able to pick up your grandkids without a sore back, to enjoy your morning walks without aching joints, to bend down in the garden and stand back up with confidence. It's about freedom, independence, feeling like your body is working with you, not holding you back. You've got years of wisdom under your belt. You know what it means to be patient, to pay attention, to make choices that protect what really matters. Exercise is just one more place where that wisdom can shine. You don't need to be an athlete to move well, you just need to move smart. Now that we've laid that foundation, there's one more common mistake that quietly affects a lot of people as they get older, and that's skipping the warm-up and cool-down. I get it. You're eager to get moving, or maybe you're short on time and just want to jump right in and get it done. Warming up might seem like an unnecessary extra step, especially if your joints already feel a little stiff just getting out of bed in the morning. But here's the thing, the warm-up isn't just a formality. It's a gentle wake-up call for your muscles, your joints, and even your heart. It's how you ease into motion, gradually increasing blood flow and flexibility so that your body is ready for more. Think of it like letting your car engine warm up on a chilly morning. You wouldn't just floor it the second you turn the key, right? Same goes for your body. A good warm-up doesn't need to be complicated. Just 5 to 10 minutes of light movement, maybe some arm circles, a few marches in place, or some gentle side steps. You're not trying to tire yourself out. You're simply saying, "All right, body, let's get ready to move." And you'll be amazed how much smoother everything feels when you take that time. And the cool down, that's just as important. After you've been moving, your heart's beating a little faster, your muscles are warm, your breathing is deeper. Suddenly stopping and sitting down can actually be a shock to your system, and it can lead to lightheadedness, soreness, or even cramps. But when you take just a few minutes to wind down, do a few stretches, and let your heart rate come down gradually, you're telling your body, "Great job, let's reset now." Stretching during your cool down is especially helpful for preventing stiffness later on. Gentle stretches, nothing painful or forced, just enough to lengthen the muscles you've used. Think of it like giving your body a thank you hug after a job well done. You'll recover faster, move better, and feel more relaxed. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we wrap up, and it's something that often gets overlooked when we think about exercise mistakes. And that's the mental side of things. The way we think about movement, the way we talk to ourselves, it matters more than you might realize. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, I'm too old for this, or what's the point now, or even, I'll just slow everyone down. Those thoughts are more powerful than they seem. They chip away at your motivation little by little, and before long they've convinced you to give up before you even start. But let me gently challenge that thinking. You are not too old, you are not behind, and there is absolutely a point, because every step you take, every stretch you do, every breath you take during movement is an investment in your future. It's about keeping your independence, protecting your balance, preserving your memory, and giving yourself the strength to keep doing the things you love. You don't have to run marathons. You don't have to lift heavy weights. You just have to keep showing up. Whether that's a walk around the block, a few gentle yoga poses in your living room, or dancing in your kitchen to your favorite music. It all counts. It all adds up. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s start new routines. Not because they wanted to look a certain way, but because they wanted to feel better, to play with their grandkids, to garden without pain, to travel without needing extra help. And the ones who succeeded weren't the fastest or the fittest. They were the ones who believed it was possible and stayed consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. And if you've already been moving but feel like you've hit a wall, that's okay too. Plateaus are part of the process. What matters is that you adjust, try something new, or simply give yourself permission to rest and start again the next day. You've come this far, and that alone is worth celebrating. So let's bring it all together. The real key to staying active in your 60s and beyond isn't about avoiding mistakes completely. It's about recognizing them when they happen, making smart adjustments, and staying kind to yourself in the process. Exercise isn't a punishment. It's not about chasing youth. It's about creating freedom. The freedom to move, to explore, to participate fully in your life. And the best part, it's never too late to start. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. If something you heard today resonated with you or reminded you of your own journey, I'd love to hear about it. Share your story in the comments. You never know who might be inspired by your experience. And if this video helped you, go ahead and give it a like. It tells us that this kind of content matters. If you want more tips, encouragement, and support to help you feel your best at every stage of life, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community here, and you're an important part of it. No matter where you are right now, just remember, your health, your strength, your energy, they're all still within reach. You've got more power than you think, and you're not doing this alone. Here's to living well, feeling strong, and making every day count. And remember, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to slow down or give up on your goals. Avoiding these common mistakes can keep your body strong, your joints safe, and your confidence sky high. So don't be afraid to move, just move smart. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it too. And please, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know what exercise you love doing or what your biggest challenge is staying active after 60. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss more practical tips for living your healthiest, happiest life. Here's to strength, independence, and thriving at every age.